is Doug, and today we're going to take a look at the Green River Golf Club in Corona, California, right off between the 57 and or 71 and 91 freeways. All right, and maybe talk about what makes it different than or special and unique from other courses. And quite honestly, there's nothing too dramatic about the course. It's not going to blow you away with difficult shots and tricky greens and things that make it difficult to play the game. It's pretty basic. It's what I call a what you see is what you get kind of course. It doesn't mean it's not fun to play. In fact, it's got a lot of things going for it. It's got these beautiful white bunkers that make it look very pretty. And you know, a lot of courses we play here have the brown sand or sand and dirt sometimes. So it's nice to see this beautiful white contrast bunkers. There's lots of trees in the course. Very pretty. They don't always come into play, but they're still a very picturesque course. It's right set up against the Chino Hills State Park in the background. And even though you're close to the freeways, you sort of feel like you're out in the country somewhere. So it's really just a very relaxing course to play and very pleasant from that standpoint. It's got a very pleasant staff from the office staff to check you in, and then the starters have always been very accommodating and easy to work with. Nice facility if you want to do events there. They've got a great little patio. I would imagine for a wedding of some sort or other kind of events, be very nice. And indoors is very pleasant as well in the dining room and everything like that. So while the course itself isn't too dramatic, it's still a fun course to play, and it's going to be in my rotation more than it used to be. I've just started playing it of late. It's a little hard to get to if you're in the Inland Empire. You've got to take the 91 inbound or the 71, so traffic can be a problem. If you're in this Orange County area, it's a great place to go because you're going against traffic and you can get there fairly easily. So I think a lot of people do play from Orange County. At any rate, let's take a look at the course and see what it's all about. Oh, and I should add that this course, I've filmed this course in the wintertime, so it has winter conditions. The trees, a lot of them don't have their leaves, they're deciduous, so they'll leaf out. So try to imagine all these dead looking trees with fully leafed out. You're going to see that does add a lot of trees to the course. And also the ground has been recent rains and so on, so it's a little winterized looking, but actually all the drives I had in the recent round I played there, the balls landed on grass. So whether that was me or the course, I can't tell. But at any rate, it was in good condition for this time of year. So let's take a look. Well, hole number one starts you off with a 40-foot drop from the tee box. So it's very dramatic. It's sort of fun to look out there. There are only 4 elevation changes on the entire course, and 2 of them, like this one, don't really come into play. In other words, they don't affect too much. Maybe you get a few more yards off the tee, but it's fun to tee off from elevated position. I think most people like that. So you get out there, favor the right side a little bit because it's a tiny bit of a dog leg to the left here a little bit, not too much. And there you can see our first bunker, white bunker, covers a little bit of the green. It's a pretty good sized green, not a terribly difficult hole to start, and it's just a nice take off from elevated position, which is nice. Number 2 is a short, relatively short par 3. Just the trees on the left. Other than that, the bunkers don't really cover the green. Certainly they're in play, but not a huge factor at this length of hole. Well, hole number 3 is our first par 5. Pretty wide open off the tee, quite honestly. Some others are wider than this, but a decent drive will get you out there. The length of 470 makes it not terribly long or short, pretty average-ish. You can certainly get there in 3. There's a white, pretty bunker there. Covers the green a little bit, but you're going to be favoring it from the right side most of the time anyway, with us people that like to push it right. So the bunker doesn't really come into a whole lot of play here. Decent sized green. And I don't have markers on these greens because I don't know them well enough to put arrows on them to show how they break. Hole number 4 is a decent length par 3, 187 yards. The bunker on the left certainly can come in place. It covers a little bit. Bunker on the right, for most of us, probably doesn't because we're going to end up being short anyway, which is probably the big miss here. And a nice round green, very round. So hole number 5 is a
Nice long par five. Lots of room off to the right off the tee. Your second shot, you want to favor middle to left a little bit. Those trees definitely come into play, and there's also a slightly sloping area there on the right. So keep it center or left and avoid those trees if at all possible. Beyond that, there's a bunker down there that doesn't really cover the green very much. But like many bunkers, I'm sure people find a way to get into it anyway. So take care of that one. Now this par four is the first hole that shows a little character, I think. Other than being straight away, you got to stay off the left side because that's a dogleg left. You need to be either center or to the right edge to be able to navigate this ravine over here that you're going to see coming up. A short drive is going to put that ravine in play, so you got to have a good drive to make that ravine not be a problem. Those two bunkers on the right up by the green again, they're just hardly in play to me. They're just not close enough to the green to make a difference. Hole number seven is the longest par five. Pretty open off the tee, as you can see. And as you go down the fairway, it's not too bad. There is a small mound off to the right. You want to stay away from if you can. It just gets in the way right over there. So try to favor the left side of the fairway, both first and second shots, because on your third shot, if you can reach the green from your third shot, is going to be going off to your right there. So there's a tiny bit of a dog leg to the hole. The bunker there covers it a little bit, not too bad. And the green is a decent sized green. If they put the blue pin in the back, it's the bunker is definitely going to be in play. Well, this par three is a decent length, 169 yards, and the bunkers are definitely in play at this length. And it's not a very big green, so you need to be, pretty accurate to navigate those bunkers. Okay, number nine's a 377-yard par four. Just stay off the right side. The trees definitely come in play on the second shot if you're over in that area, and you'll get stuck behind those if you don't keep it center or left. Beyond that, there are no bunkers on this hole. It's pretty straightforward from here. So if you've got a good shot, you can just whale away and see if you can get to roll up on this green. It's slightly elevated, but not terribly, not really. Anything can roll up there if you get a good shot off, so not a problem. And it's not terribly small green, so the odds of getting on are pretty good. Okay, number 10, a decent length par four. It's pretty wide open on the right side. Most people are going to put it over there, right where these guys are, and there's no real problem over there. It's pretty wide open, and got a good shot at the green from here if you can get it down there that length. The greenside bunker, sort of in play, but not terribly. They're nice looking bunkers, but they're not often in play sometimes. Nice green, a little narrow green, it's a little hard to get to sometimes. Okay, number 11 is pretty much average length par four. It looks tighter than it is. It's still fairly wide open. It's just a little narrower than some of the other wide open holes, so it has a slightly different look to it. One thing that's tricky here, again, you notice there are no bunkers here on the course or on this hole. There is a slight elevated green here, slightly elevated green. Anything in that little green patch in the front of the green is likely to stick there if it's not rolling up pretty good. So just be aware that you got a little bit of roll up if you're going to be rolling it on the green as opposed to hitting it in the air. Okay, 12 is a short par four, but that doesn't mean it's an easy one. You got to keep out of these trees on the right side, both the first one there and then the olive tree a little later on. This is the first hole with an elevation change that really makes a difference. If you're out there with an iron or just a short fairway wood, whatever, trying to get up on this green, that patch of grass there is going to kill any shot that isn't really rolling with some speed. So you got to get up there. It's a 14-foot rise up to this green, so maybe an extra club is in order. Well, this one is a short par three, but don't let that distance fool you. It's uphill. It's an 18-foot rise from the tee box up to the green. So an extra club is definitely in order here. It can be a troublesome hole for being a short one. It's not always easy. Well, this is our last hole with an elevation change. It's a 42-foot drop from the tee box down to the fairway, wide open fairway. You know, just pound it down there and maybe get a couple extra yards because of the elevation change. But other than that, it's pretty straightforward. Again, what you see is what you get. Imagine all those trees with the leaves on them. It would be very pretty to play the hole. Got a couple of nice white bunkers out here. Because you're trying to get there in two, they do come into play at that second shot distance. Most of the guys I play with, we can't get there in two, but if you can, that's good for you. Well, this shortish par four has a tiny bit of a bend to it. Just want to stay a little bit right, center or right. That tree there can snag your ball and cause a problem, especially in the summertime with all the leaves on it. You got to and you're going to get a better angle to the green on the right side anyway. And there's a tiny little bunker here on this green, and it's a cute little sucker, and it's right next to it, so it is in play. And if you get in it, you're probably going, "What the heck? It's such a tiny thing. Why did I do that?" But it definitely can get to be a factor, especially with the blue pin like you see here. Oh, the 16th hole, the longest par three. These green or bunkers definitely cover the green. This is like you see in a lot of courses where the bunkers are really factors all the time. This one is definitely part of this hole, and not going in the bunker is a trick. Well, this course is a little unusual. It ends with two par fives, little different. 17 here, keep it left. There's a slight dog leg off the tee, but to try to keep it a little bit left, give yourself a better angle on your second shot here. Other than that, it's fairly wide open for the second shot. It's the third shot. You got to be careful of this tree over here. If you're on the right side of the fairway, you're going to be in trouble. So you want to keep favoring center or left on this hole all the way down. And the bunkers are, sort of in play a little bit. Okay, we're finishing with a fairly long par five here, 489 yards. And you want to favor the right side or center because it's a slight dog leg left. Because if you don't do that and you just go a little left, those trees are definitely going to cut into your game here. And you don't want to be going through those trees. So stay a little center to the right. And look, there's a fairway bunker. Can you believe it? That's the only fairway bunker on the course. It's the only bunker on this hole. It does come into play, especially for us shorter hitters, because our third shot is going to end up down in there somewhere instead of on the green. The green is a two-tiered green, the only true two-tiered green, I think, on the course. And because of narrowness, too, it's pretty hard to get to. And it's also very long, so if it's a blue pin and you end up on the bottom, you can have a long putt, and three putt is in order here, so look out. Well, I really hope you enjoyed the video and the course, and thanks a lot for watching. I appreciate it. And if you're so inclined, please hit the like button down below.